Um, so everybody, welcome to the fourth iteration of the Roundtable podcast. I have a brand new guest with me joining today in mgooby 08. He will talk about himself in just a moment. And we have some great topics on the day. We're back in Merrick's server, interacting with the community. We're trying something new out this time, and we're going to end the podcast with a 15 to 20 minute kind of Q&A with the community that's on the server. Anyone that has any questions, whether it's to direct podcast members or if it's just a generic question that you want to know about we think about something, feel free to ask. Whether it's a follow-up on something we talked about or something we didn't talk about, we're going to try and finish the podcast out with a little interaction. Um, so on the cast today, I'll be your host, 2Bob29, and we have a great cast with us today.
I'm Coyote. I am playing this game for probably 2 days, but grew up a wrestling nerd, enjoyed it, so glad to be.
Yeah, Danger can be here. Reese promoted into Creepy Hollow. I've been slumming it for a long time, but apparently not enough, so I actually got promoted. So apparently my half efforts are good enough these days to get by. And a shout out to my friends in Tube, as always. Love you guys.
Hey, I'm mgooby. Been around basically since the beginning of the game. I'm one of the leaders of the Unstoppable Empire.
Merrick's here. Most of you probably know me. These guys will all call me Cable. I don't know who I am, so I have to have two names. And thanks for joining.
And that's our cast today. I know some people were thinking that Punisher was going to be able to join us today for this podcast. Unfortunately, he wasn't. But hopefully he will be joining us relatively soon on some upcoming ones. That'll be a great addition, I think, to have to the roundtable. So I think we can just start on the end of last month. Is probably just a kind of like a good bow to the present type of mentality. We can talk about last month, just kind of cap it off, and then we can sort of move on to what we have in front of us now and what we got ahead of us. So let's talk about the colossal month. Typhoon, earthquake, gear. Where did everybody end up? I'll talk about mine in a second, but I kind of want to hear where everybody actually ended up and where they took their Typhoon, what type of straps they got. I'm interested to hear.
Typhoon ended at 3 silver. Did not get the Quake. Got his gear, though, sitting nice at the bottom of my inventory. I wasn't feeling it. I didn't have a need for it. I know that Earthquake and the team is pretty awesome. I've got other teams that kind of fill that niche, and I figured Earthquake will fall on my lap eventually. So I kind of took the month off and got what I could get.
All right.
I finished top 100. I got Typhoon at full because, to me, if they're going to give you tokens to evolve a character or start waste their tokens for people to get them up eventually, I got Earthquake and his gear. Earthquake is a lot of fun. He's definitely picking up. If you got it, he's definitely. I think Earthquake is definitely picking up if you. He's not somebody that I would say if you don't have.
Yeah. Sorry. So I'm a big fan of Typhoon. I think he's very strong. I know some complaints are he's slow. I don't feel like it for a showboat. He's that slow. He fills a ton of niches, and he's got a great kit. So I went 4-star gold with him. I also have the skip strap for him. A lot of different ways you can run him. Super useful. I thought he was a fantastic free character. Very strong finisher. Very, very strong finisher. Mm-hmm. So very happy to get him. Great asset to my team. Beefs up my new gen era. And then Earthquake, I finished and I had 200 plus extra shards. And I didn't need to buy off of the prize wall. And I only did finish 2 of the TP events. And that was with never pulling more than 10 from his bag. So, it was definitely a lot easier to get Quake than it was Sasha. Got 2 of the skill plates and got his gear, of course. I feel like he's going to be kind of honestly, and this is pretty scary to say to me. I think he's going to be a better Kane with his gear set. The fact that he's got a legendary strap, also got the skip strap for him. Going to be turn one in feuds with the MP perks, using a dual MP trainer, so not even one of the main ones. So I think he's going to couple different builds too. You can run him. So I think he's going to be a major problem, and he's actually looking like a better Kane right now to me. We'll see when I get him 4-star gold, but hyped about him too.
Nice. I like that. Gooby, where'd you end up?
I ended up by max the event out, got Typhoon 4-star gold, ended up with Earthquake in the gear, and I think 3 of the skill plates.
Jeez.
With I think 700 extra shards for Earthquake. I hit 500 on a bag on the last day. I think he'll be pretty good. At the moment, I don't really have a plan to work him up. My roster is just kind of at a point where I'm building guys to max out golds for when the potential 5-star comes.
Gotcha. So my perspective on the month, I ended up getting Typhoon, took him up to 4 gold, got the skip turn strap for him, ended up getting Earthquake on the last day. I have 3 extra shards for him after the 2000 fuse up point, and that includes getting the 290 from both feuds. Not really sure where I fell behind or how so far, but I did end up getting him. I ended up pulling 50 shards from one of the bags, or from the bags twice, and then 100 shards once throughout the month. And I still only had 3 more shards above 2,000. So I'm not really sure what happened where I got so close and almost missed it. But I ended up getting it, ended up getting the gear, ended up getting the plate, obviously. And I actually ended up getting the from maxing the milestones a skip turn strap for the natural disasters. So I have skip turns for both Typhoon and Earthquake, which is kind of interesting. As for the card overall, I think he's going to be a monster of a powerhouse, kind of similar to Cable said. For new gen, I think for people that don't really want to look at other new gen powerhouses because a lot of people don't really like them, that's understandable. That this guy fits a 2-part need of both a new gen requirement. You could have a powerhouse that does a lot of damage with a gear that a lot of people have now, instead of having to use Doink for a tech. But for the same era, you can now use a monster in Earthquake. And on the flip side, if you have a powerhouse wreck, he's way up there for who you might put in a lineup for whether it's feud or blitz or a tour. If they tell you that there's a powerhouse requirement, a lot of people are going to say, oh yeah, absolutely, immediately I would use Zombie Austin if there's a powerhouse requirement. But, and we all know what's going on because they are releasing the straps, there's a bunch of anti-stun straps that are coming out now that they're trying to shove into the game. This is the whole month for them. So if a bunch of people start getting these anti-stun straps, Zombie Austin and Zombie Rock for your powerhouses immediately drop. Yeah, the gem isn't a bad build, but it's only good because you can still stun. Besides that, you're not going to be able to do anything with Zombie Austin at that point, so it's not as great. And if that ever happens, Earthquake's value immediately skyrockets for the powerhouse requirement. So I could see it being a very good card for people that got him, and I could see it being a great card for people that didn't get him if they want to get shards for him and try and chase that 2000 fuse point if they start putting his shards in events like they always do. I definitely think it's a card that's worth chasing in this particular case. And because the majority of people that play this game have the gear, I think that's also a very good reason, because it's a very good gear on a very good card. It's not like it's... And again, I hate to say this because I know there's some marks out there that love Trickster Brett, and I'm just not a huge fan of him, and I don't see the damage at all. But yes, the gear is a great gear. It gives you like +5 or +6 purple gem generation. That's massive, but it's on a not so great card, so it doesn't really help. You put a +5 or +6 gear on tough, and Tough becomes something decent again because he's generating almost twice the amount of gems. But it's just a case of a really great gear on a really good card, and I think that's something that some people should be looking towards.
Yeah, with Trickster.
Go on, Coyote.
Sorry, I said with Trickster Brett. The thing is, if you have his gear, one of those guys. If you've got some other tricksters that are up there that are really good, if he's a good second trickster option, third trickster option. But if he's your top, you're definitely a trickster.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I mean, he's a souped up mids.
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more. So yeah, that's where we all ended up on the Colossal month. So let's talk about this month. I think it's interesting what they're doing here. In case no one is aware of what the month is for whatever reason, even though we're about 5 to 6 days into it, it is the He-Man Monthly Masters of the Universe. There's some rumors going around that this is going to be coming in waves, similar to the toys, and similar to the zombie months. The zombie months, they've obviously done repeats of. I'm interested if they're going to be doing repeats of this Masters of the Universe monthly. I wanted to know what everybody had intentions to do this month. Did you do the talent up? Are you planning on maxing it? What do you think of the entire month as a whole with the special orb shops inside of the prize wall? I just there's a lot to discuss regarding this whole entire month, and I kind of want to get everybody's outlook on it. From my perspective, I think it's cool that they're giving out a Striker Cena. I know everybody's hating probably on me for saying that they're giving out another Cena, but for people that don't have Zombie Cena right now, this is going to be your best Cena. Period. This is going to be your best Cena for any John Cena requirement that they come out with in the future, hands down, if you don't have Zombie Cena. And Zombie Cena is a very rare Cena card, or a very rare zombie card at that too. So I think that's absolutely worth chasing. If you don't think that this card is great, I think it's a very good card, and I think it's extremely underestimated. And I'm saying it right now, and I said it on the record when I first saw the card. I think this card is comparable to Scott Hall and could potentially even be better. That's my actual outlook on the card. And Triple H I'll talk about later when we all start talking about him. But if anyone has any takes on this, there's a lot to talk about with the month.
Oh boy, where do I start with this month? I do plan on maxing it and getting Triple H. And the reason that I try to always get the, unless they're expensive to get, is I took a month off, didn't go for Becky, and she prepared in every actively individual and faction events not happening. And that was the month I decided to take off because it was after that NWO month. Trickster month. Well, for this month, yeah, I do agree with assessment. I think Cena's a solid, upper half striker, especially once you get into 4-star and the choose, protect, and then you can just basically blow up. I think he's going to be one of those guys that he'll take a little damage to get going, but once he gets, you're going to have we're going to face it because I don't think he can do much to stop.
Yeah, it's not going to be a great card for the AI to use, but if you're using him, it's not going to be too terrible. I'll agree with that one.
Yeah, the AI is going to have all kinds of sequencing issues with either of those builds, but he's solid. Even at his 3-star, he's got he's got some destroyed black gems, which on a striker is always great. Blowing up the board with laying down the row break gems. So you've got a couple different options there if you want to destroy more black or if you want to pop out more row breaks, and you've got coaching options there. I'm going along with the month. I skipped last month, and it was in no way like a critique of the quality of either Typhoon or Earthquake. It's just unless you're willing to spend a fortune, you got to pick your spot sometimes. And I did not get a skip strap for Typhoon, and that put me off like the contest from the start. And I didn't get a skip strap for Cena either, which sucks. I hate that part of it is RNG. It's I finished the talent up just like a lot of folks, and I get like a gem damage reduction 3% or something. So I really, really hate that they've gone to that because you just get boned for no good reason. but I think Cena is solid. I'm going to work him up as just part of taking him up as far as I can because I did have New Gen covered, but I certainly don't have any future Masters of the Universe requirements covered for, tours or feuds or anything else. So I've got to have at least one guy, just like a zombie.
Mm.
So I'm going to work him up, see if I can. I'm going to go for Warrior in Showdown and hopefully get Triple H. So I'm in for this month, yeah. I guess that's the short story there.
So I actually like the Cena card. Let me start with the monthly. I really like what they're doing with the whole theme of remapping the backgrounds and stuff too. So we get a new background we can see. It actually really feels like a month-long event is happening, that something different is happening. I think it's very likely these guys get similar treatment to the zombies in that we see multiple events because they're based on a toy line just like the zombies are. So I think that's very likely. The character animations are awesome if you like arcade style. Freaking Cena flies all over the screen. So I enjoy just using him. It's fun. It's different. There's a lot of cool stuff. I'm sad to see like either the Bailey shop and the daily offers gone. Those were pretty cool, but we do get these color orbs in the faction milestones, and those are free, the universal ones. So you can get some stuff in there, some straps, some TPs. So that part's pretty cool. For Cena, his 4-star build looks particularly fun. Like Bob was saying about it being maybe a better haul. So I have haul, and the good thing is he always wins. The bad thing is he always takes a lot of damage, at least for me. So maybe I don't play him right, but that's the downside to him. He always wins, but he always takes a lot of damage. Cena, especially if you hit the skip strap on the talent up, I see that strap being more beneficial to a character like him than most characters. Because it's a little bit of a slow build, but if you hit it right, and I posted the build in the chat, he's going to blow up the entire board, assuming you have the right coaches and trainers. You can also do another build and get one less, so he can blow up all but one row, even with not rare trainers at all. And you take a striker and you blow up the whole board, that's probably going to end the match almost every time. So that's a useful trait to have, even if it's a hot tag or whatever. Plus, he's on top of being Masters of the Universe, he's modern era. And Harper and Breeze are the only two really good strikers that come to mind for modern era. So he also fills a era there too, being modern. So I'm all in for this month. I plan on taking him minimum 4-star bronze. I would say everyone should do that if you can, if you're just for the requirements and stuff. I'm sure I'll take him 4-star gold though, like 99% sure.
Groups, lay it on me. Monthly.
So I'm someone that's never gotten into this statues and zombies and all of that kind of stuff. My plan is I'll take him to Cena to 4-star bronze. Just for future requirements, basically to help the faction, however it can. Triple H, as far as it goes, I'll go after him. He looks like a great card. But I'm at a point where I'm already stacked with multiplied gem acrobats. So if I get him, I get him. If I don't get him, it's not going to be the end of the world for me. The one thing with Cena is nice. I did pull the extra turn strap. Same as last month, I got extra turn straps for both of them. Now, will I actually use it? If I'm only taking in 4-star bronze, probably not. Just don't really need any more clutter as far as straps go. I was excited to see another warrior, whether it falls into the toy line like it has. I kind of thought this whole time he's needed something else. His powerhouse card can be very good if it's built correctly, but I just don't think they've done enough with him when you look at how memorable he is in WWE over the years. I did unlock that card last night already, so he's been kind of fun to play with in the tours. I don't think he's going to be all that great overall. He's a showboat. I mean, there really isn't many showboats that are all that great when it comes to damage.
Fair.
You know, they can get good if you stack a strap for them, but that's about it.
I'd argue that Warrior is going to be better than I think people thinking. He's going to be kind of similar in the showboat just to where Goldberg is in the powerhouse. Or if he'd have come out, this Warrior came out early in the 4-star life cycle, he'd have been top. He'd have been considered a top showboat. Goldberg was the top powerhouse.
I could see that. I could for sure see if they came out with this Warrior, like you said at the beginning of the 4-star meta, this would for sure be one of the top tier showboats that they've released. Warrior's an interesting card. We'll talk about the. I guess we could just talk about the upcoming Showdown event and then come back to the monthly because it is all part of the monthly. They are coming out with Warrior. Obviously, they already have them out. Showdown's coming up in about an hour and a half. The event is already live for everyone that hasn't done the tours yet. You should go do your tours if you have the requirements. Requirement for the first one is the Showboat Warrior. Obviously, you don't have that if you are going for Warrior. The second one is having Piper and the Powerhouse Warrior. And the third requirement is just having Fandango. So you should definitely go and do those if you have any of those cards. Get your resources, get your shards, make your progress before Showdown kicks off, because when Showdown kicks off, you're going to be stuck doing Showdown. So, interesting set of requirements for the Showdown that they came out with. I think that they edited the Rex, 3 or 4 times? I can't remember, because it started out that you needed NWO Perfect, then you needed Godfather. It started out with New Gen talent, then it was Showboat talent. I've lost track of what it comes down to, but I know that the majority of those showboats are showboats that a good chunk of people have, and that there should be some good progress that a lot of people can make in this event towards getting some Warrior shards. And even if they don't actually get the 4-star bronze fuse up point or the 2-star bronze card at the end, they should be extremely close to recruiting the card with the amount of shards that they'll have afterwards. They should be somewhere remotely close to about 1,000 shards, and I have no idea what they're doing with these Masters of the Universe events, but if they keep coming out with them like zombie events, there should hopefully be a very good chance in getting them the next time around. So just try to go for whatever you guys got. As for the card itself, I think it's a very great card as a coach. I think as a showboat, like everyone's saying, there's only so much gem damage that a showboat can do, but it's a different type of card. It's a fun card to play. It looks interesting. It's appealing to a lot of people. Personally, I won't be taking him up. While I see the benefit for the Masters of the Universe and for the showboat, and he's probably going to be a requirement, I'm not stressed on taking up another showboat to spend another 8 figures of coins, of 10 million plus coins, to max him out at bronze and shove all the thousands of TP into him. It's just, I don't want to do that for a card that I'm not going to use. I'd rather be doing that for cards that I'm going to use or cards that I want to take up. Maybe something that I can even prep for the next talent up for next month. I'd rather be focusing on that than having to work on the Warrior right now. And for anyone that gets him at 2-star bronze or 4-star bronze or wherever it is, just keep in mind his coach ability is at 9k and 300 talent. So you get the first ability the second you unlock him. He's not like other people where you have to take them up to 1,000 or 5,000 talent. You get the ability right off rip, and it's 25%, not 35%. 10% sounds huge, right? But it's not that big of a deal when you're talking about taking a 2-star bronze card all the way up to 4-star bronze to get 10% extra. It's not the end of the world. It's a great coaching ability. It lowers power gems, multi-gems, and protect gems, I think.
Yeah, it does all 3.
Yeah, but it's showboat exclusive.
That's true.
But really, really great coach for a bunch of the showboats out there, and they're trying to help, level out the showboats in one aspect with coaches. And then flip side, for people that don't have Showboat Austin in this one, you could actually get Showboat Austin in the milestones. So
I'm about 50 shards away from recruiting him finally, and he's just going to fall in my lap today after 2 or 3 years. It's
Yep.
like, hey, screw it.
Yep,
Scopely,
that's
just eat it.
that's just
eat
what it is.
Though, I will say probably doesn't have all the requirements. If they do kind of like what they did with Chiappa, with Bruno, a few of those other guys, they've done some, or even, they tend to have other events throughout the month where you can get shards for this. So even if you only wind up with 1,000 this month, say you get the 2-star bronze, but you wind up with 1,000 shards, elsewhere, it may behoove you just to wait to bring him up unless you need some of the resources. But if you don't need any of that, just wait out the month and see if they might offer like a $10 store.
Yeah.
An event might have and the top 100 shards. So, in my opinion, I would wait for that. And if all else fails, then you can use the shards for the next talent up you need.
It's a very good point.
So, I think it's a pretty amazing event in general for a couple of reasons. So, I know a few of my friends that weren't looking like they would be able to max it for the 2-star bronze. However, they had Piper and they had Warrior, so they're able to do the tours, get 975 shards, and only need to hit milestone 9 to recruit Warrior. So they'll actually miss out on the 2-star, but be able to get the 4-star, and that's pretty awesome. The fact that you can get a 4-star bronze from a showdown event and lack at least one guy in Godfather, and probably the only one you can't afford to miss and you can still max it is Piper. You could miss one of the others, potentially 2 if it was some of the lower point ones, although I can't imagine you'd be missing those guys. So like if you're missing Piper, it's going to be really rough, but you can get dang close even missing Piper. Milestone 7, you get Showboat Austin, so that's really great because that's still a very rare card. And he's the yellow starting gem trainer. So during Showdown, if you got a yellow guy, he's a great alternative to an MP trainer, so you get that yellow match. So overall, a lot of good stuff in the milestones. Rude's in there at a lower one, so newer players, you might not have Rude. I think this is a pretty great event, everything considered, with multiple ways to get Warrior. If you do miss him, you're still going to probably pick up some pretty nice goodies along the way and get a boatload of shards. So, I mean, I don't see how the community can't be anything but happy about this style of event. I mean, they're almost... It's as close as they'll probably ever get to giving pretty solid new guys away. His trainer ability is awesome, as has been talked about. The coach, he's going to go right on my Dango. He'd be even better on NWO show to fight Booker T and neutralize Booker T. He's a better, if you like Matt Hardy and Matt Hardy's your best showboat, he's better. So,
Yeah.
grab him, take him up, use him. Also, one of the few showboats with a 6 MP move that can get him started with that yellow gem break. Not a lot of showboats with 6 MP starting moves, so he can go off turn 1 with perks and stuff, which I don't know if anyone's talked about that yet. So when there's showboat requirements, that's another bonus too. So while he may not be as useful to me as like a Fandango, and he's not as good as say Fiend, Godfather, those super rare ones like that, he is a very good showboat. He's a better Matt Hardy, and he's got situations where he'll be able to turn 1, so blitz, things like that. So pretty useful. Also, side note, for an unleveled blitzer at 4-star, he would fill a 4-star requirement, and he'd have that 6 MP move, Destroy Gem. So he would make a fantastic unleveled blitzer. You would burn through blitz very fast with him.
That's a very good point. The only other
And
thing I
this is
wanted
animation.
to mention about this whole entire thing was in one of those tours, if you had Piper and Warrior, I know a lot of people, it wasn't just me, a lot of people were looking forward to that legendary strap at the end of that tour, and they were under the assumption it was going to be a modern showboat
Ugh.
strap because
Mm.
Warrior is a
Yep.
modern showboat. I know of like 2 people in the entire community that got the damn modern showboat strap for a male, by the way, because some people did get it for females. So go have fun putting it on your Sasha, if you even have her, and didn't get her monthly belt for whatever reason. Like, go figure that. Ridiculous, just ridiculous. And one of the 2 people that I know in the community that got the modern belt sold it. Like, are you
Wow.
serious?
Wow.
Wow.
That's.
But you know what though? You know what though? If this is the biggest complaint we're having about it, I think Scopely did pretty good. This
Right. Yes, that's what I'm saying. There always has to be something to be bitchy about, and I'll own up to it. I like to bitch about it. I can't help it.
I scored pretty huge on the strap. I landed a legendary new gen showboat female strap. So
Oh,
I
Boom.
challenge
Oh, man,
anyone to
that's
top that.
I
That's
got
going
the
to be
exact
OP
same
when
thing.
Under Blaze.
Who can top that shit? Who can top that shit?
I mean, there's no real
Actually,
topping it. It's just like once you get a female strap that's not a legendary or a modern, it's the same, right? Like you got the new gen. If someone gets a PG, it's like that's not even worse. It's just that's equally as bad. Oh, I got a ruthless
Well,
aggression
actually-
one. Like, oh, it's awful.
Yeah, I got a ruthless. I actually did get a ruthless aggressive female showboat.
Yeah, see,
Strap.
like,
Legendary strap.
just,
Ruthless
I guess that'll be great when Lita comes out. I don't know.
oh man, it's like whatever, just you shush, you take your 1,200 bits, and you move on, right? Like, just is what
You don't
it
want to
is.
slap it on Wendy?
Oh man, yeah, that's if you
Yeah,
get
I
a
will-
legend
I-
one. That's it.
I will say that for all the folks who were saying spin and ban doesn't matter, you guys are wasting your time. Months ago, when we complained about an event, Scopa said, "Hey man, sorry, we've got a roadmap. We got to stick to it no matter what we do. Suck it." 2 months later, it's like, "I'm sorry. Okay, we'll roll back the requirements. Okay, I'm sorry. We'll take this out. We'll fix this." I mean, that's got to be a sign of something. So, I think it did matter in the end.
I also do wonder with this event, because it's in conjunction with Walmart, I believe, based on the ads. I wonder how much influence Walmart is kind of having on some of the
Didn't you mention, Cable, that all of the toys were sold out like after day 1 or day 2 from
Yeah,
the
so-
Walmart site or something? I remember you telling me about that.
Yeah, I was curious, so I checked it, and on day 1, they were like only $14.99, for a toy. They have the comic thing. I'm a nerd. I thought about buying them. I didn't, so don't judge. But I did think about buying them, at least 1 or 2. And I went back to look the next day because I was curious, and everyone but Balor was sold out. I haven't checked since then. But yeah. So I don't know how much we played a part in it as a community, like if a ton of us bought them. But I think it is interesting. Also, kind of what they're saying. I would like to hope maybe someday the community can come together a little bit better than we currently do. There's a little too much hate between some factions for my liking, but it would be nice if one day we can all kind of come together, work together, and maybe get Scopely to listen so they can make more money and the community can be happier. I mean, obviously there's a lot of negativity and people are never happy. Everyone wants everything for free, and that won't ever happen. But I do feel like there's some middle ground that could happen, and anytime we have something where they start to listen or it looks like they're listening, maybe like this, that's kind of a good sign and gives me a little bit of hope. Mainly because I love this game and it's super fun, so it's frustrating when things happen that make it less enjoyable.
So I think we can go back to the monthly because we kind of skipped around a whole lot. They also changed the TP event in case anyone hadn't seen it, and that's another huge issue of what's going on. Kind of similar to how they had the earthquake shards last month in the TP events, the 100 shards per the TP, even though it's an insane amount of TP. They updated, quote unquote, the event, the TP event for this month, for the MoTU month for Triple H, to contain 100 acro Triple H shards. But the people that were already past that milestone didn't get the shards put into their account.
That's what I was going to ask. I wasn't sure if they got credited or not. That sucks.
No, there's a bunch of discussions apparently going around in town hall, but the current suggestion is for anyone that was there is to submit a ticket.
I was.
I don't know what's going on with that.
I know of at least. I don't remember the exact name of the person, but I do know that people have been successful with the tickets. So
If that's the case, and I'll just put my own 2 cents on it. That's ugly. Because if you have to put in a support ticket because the devs decided to update an event midway through and didn't properly credit you, they should be able to see everybody that was already above that and then just send them an in-game message with the shards anyway. Because if
literally
someone,
one SQL query.
it's really not that hard, and I'm sure there wasn't even more than 100 people that had passed it because it truly is an insane amount of TP. It's like 6,000 or something for the shards for that milestone. It's nonsense. So yeah, they should be able to see who spent it and who hit it before they decided to update the event. They should have given all those people those shards because that's what they decided to update the event to. And this should have been a non-issue. This shouldn't still be a thing that people have to be discussing and telling people, oh yeah, send in a ticket, make sure that you get your shards because if not, then you're just shit out of luck. I'm okay, but you're shit out of luck. Like that's ugly.
And the thing is, support, is so hit or miss with this stuff. I had an issue where something didn't show up, in my inventory, and 3 months of back and forth with support. I mean, you just had to.
Oh man, don't remind me. Oh, I don't want to talk about that on here. Oh, even Gooby's laughing, and Gooby hasn't laughed at anything this whole podcast. I don't want to talk about it.
I mean, most of us have played this game longer than I think we care to admit. We all see support as hit or miss. So, I mean, they should never send somebody support for where they made a change mid.
No, that's
and for things that are cut and dry, this is not questionable. This is, I passed a milestone, and I didn't get credit with this. This is look, just check your records, man. Run a SQL query. It's real simple. Go check it out.
Right.
This game logs everything. This game literally logs everything. Like that's how they, there's a lot of logs on how they catch certain things that people do that they shouldn't. Yeah, I don't want to.
My understanding, coming from Town Hall, was that they were working on building a script for it,
aka query.
So now, really stupid question, right? If people have put in tickets and asked for their 100 shards, and they got their 100 shards, now what do they have to do to this query to run it to say, okay, these people didn't get it, but these people contacted support and did get it, so we're not awarding them? Or are the people that contacted support getting an extra 100 shards, and the people that didn't getting shafted out of 200? Like, how is this going to work?
I think you know the answer to this already.
I mean, personally, I don't care. I don't care if, someone who got past that milestone, got the 100 shards, or didn't get the 100 shards, went to support. I don't care if they get another 100, because they were probably going to get Triple H anyway, so I don't think it's really a difference. That's,
I'll be honest, from my own aspect, I'm speaking from this personally. I finished last month with 2,003 earthquake shards. So yes, every shard counts.
I get it.
That's just my 2 cents on it.
My point is, a lot of the people that would have already passed that.
Yeah, no,
but the people that would have already passed it probably are going to be the same people who,
yes,
if they offer, a $50 pack with 100 for the Triple H, they're probably going to buy it.
Yes, that is
a lot of the people.
That is a very fair assumption. I will give you that much. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Gooby. I think you were in the middle of saying something too.
No, it's all good. I don't think that they can even run a script to figure that out. They'd have to go through case by case and take the 100 shards back away from the people. And that's not going to happen.
I actually have a very, very funny support story to tell you that would actually go along the lines of them trying to do something like this.
Oh.
You too.
Oh, oh man, no. This is hilarious. So I went to go look at the loot, and somehow it pulls from the loot, but I never hit the button to actually pull because I didn't game cash. And so I messaged support. I'm like, hey, your game glitched. Took my in-game cash to the pull and roll that. Well, the customer support agent did that, and then all of my 4-star moves. Like I had somebody that was 4-star gold with 3 filled, 1 hot. I think it was Z. Don't quote me on that 100%. I had to fight with support for 4 months for them to fix those moves because they kept telling me, we have no record of you actually leveling up that move. I'm like, how do I have a 1-7 zombie Finn, 3 full stars, 1 hollow star,
With level
1 4-star move? I'm like, can you explain to me how this makes sense? So, you know what? The path of least resistance may just be to give everybody 100 shards, irregardless.
Yeah.
Just not screw everybody up.
Yeah, it may just be the path of least resistance, to be honest. You're right. It's another mess up. it's another issue that Town Hall has to work through. It's just like it's another thing, that it's another goof, and it's just I don't know, man. I feel bad for the people if they don't run the query that don't contact support. I feel bad for them because some of those people probably don't know that they have to contact support, because I'll be honest with you, if I was a top 70 person and I didn't hear the story of what you were just telling me, that one of your friends contacted support and had success with it, I wouldn't contact support. I wouldn't think, oh, support's going to give me my 100 shards. Support can't give me a stupid prop. They're not going to give me 100 shards. Like, they no offense, they don't do shit right at all. I mean, they were hit or miss like a year ago. They've been miss for a while. Just being 100% real.
Oh.
But like, I wouldn't expect 100 of the shards from support. So yeah, I hope those people do get their shards. If they don't, then yeah, Scope is kind of screwing some people on that one. I'm not a huge fan of that. Outside of that, back to the monthly. Similar to Typhoon, this was a 2-star gold fuse up for John Cena, and in regards to that, a lot of people were holding out to get that 2-star gold fuse up, so they can do their kickoff blitz at Hell mode, because I think the normal mode requirements was like 157 in normal modes or something crazy. It was like 20 something hard modes, which was, I believe, 6 nodes, and then it was like 7 Hell nodes.
A lot of tickets.
And yeah, it was a bunch of tickets also. It was still the typical 3,000 on the Hell mode for those tickets, and I think it was still 1,000 per hard mode or something crazy per hard mode. I remember it was a lot of blitzes, but I wanted to make a mention this time that if you did the talent up and you did get a decent amount of RNG from the John Cena shard bags, that you actually could get the 2-star gold fuse up pretty early on. And if you did the tours really early on, you managed to get the 3-star bronze fuse up and could do the Hell mode on the blitz without having to spend a penny on anything. It was just RNG based, which, I mean, yeah, you obviously can't control that, but it seemed to be going around for a lot of people from what I saw this month compared to last month. A lot of people for Typhoon last month had to either purchase the pack or they had to hold out until that final day of the blitz. This month, it seemed like they were not very giving, but much more giving in the talent up shard bags for a lot of people. There was at least 10 or 15 more fuse ups in my particular faction this month than last month within the first couple of days, comparatively. I just wanted to know what you guys thought about that.
Yeah, I agree with that. Last month I was having to sweat because I'm not doing the pack where it's like you have to pay to participate. So I didn't do it last month. I wouldn't do it this month, and I didn't make the blitz until the last day, and I was actually sweating whether I was going to get it or not. And this time I was actually able to get Cena up a day before and do a few hell blitzes so that I was contributing to the faction. So I wasn't really paying close attention to where the differences were, but yeah, it seemed easier this time.
It was a lot easier for sure. I was not able to get Typhoon above that level, so I had to do only hard ones. And if I wouldn't have bought the starter pack last month, I would not have been able to do anything other than normal. If this follows the same Blitz formula, the first one is very expensive, just like last month was very expensive. And then we had the Mark Henry Blitz was only 420 tickets for the Hell mode, was super cheap. And then the last one for Macho was a little bit more expensive, but not nearly as expensive as the first. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that's going to probably continue since the first one has all of the shards in it. And it was like what I think 24,000 ish tickets if you did hard, 21,000 I think on Hell as far as ticket cost to do your 1%, which is crazy expensive.
Yeah.
I had to buy the $19.99 starter pack and the $9.99 just for the tickets, or I wouldn't have been able to do my 1%. But they had, between the two of them, that was like 14,000 tickets. I started this month at only 7.
That's awful.
Yeah, the ticket requirements are getting absolutely nuts. I mean, you're looking at the prize wall. Even if you grab every one, you're talking about 45,000 tickets if you can buy every single one. You know, so when you're asking for over 20,000 for one Blitz out of the 3, you're kind of getting to the point where people can't keep up. Like, there's no chance of keeping up in the higher factions unless you're buying.
Yeah, kind of makes it that pay to play instead of making it a voluntary pay for better, you know?
I mean, how long did we all have, 100, 200,000 Blitz tickets? Forever.
A while, yeah, if you had been playing forever.
RIP blue bag tickets.
Oh man, I remember when they used to be good.
At least the starter packs are coming with tickets now, so that makes it a little more valuable.
Yeah, if you look at the cost of how much say you had to buy Blitz tickets, because I cleaned out. I mean, my primary prize wall objective now is not coin; it's Blitz tickets first, coin second. So last month I cleaned out almost every single Blitz ticket and stuff. But when you look at the 1999 starter pack and how much they charge for just 2,500 Blitz tickets, those two starter packs are good value comparatively. It is annoying that you have to purchase them if you want to do 1% every single Blitz for your faction. And then, a lot of us try to go a little bit farther too, because there's going to be a few people that just can't do it that particular Blitz. So they definitely could lower Blitz tickets a little bit. I get not lowering it a ton, but they could lower them at least a little bit. Like maybe instead of this one taking like 24,000, maybe like 16. Even that little bit of a difference would make enough that the prize wall would cover it.
It's a solid point. Maybe I'm just crazy with what I purchase on the prize wall. I haven't purchased Blitz tickets in a while. I normally just go for the tier 4 medals. From what I'm hearing everybody purchase on the prize wall, I'm just the crazy person in the group. Because those things are mad expensive. That eats up like all my monthly ingots, and I end up getting shit medals. And I end up selling them. I get so annoyed. It's like I really just want something good that I can use. It's like, nope, there goes 1.5 million ingots in the fucking dump. Like, it's
I've honestly never bought a medal on the prize wall.
Have
Never.
a tier 4 flat padded medal, sir. Here you go.
Yeah, right. Like, why? Why did I spend 250,000 ingots on this? This is stupid.
Although the flat padded metal is only good if you have God. Just saying. That's the only time it's any good. The flat pad, all gem damage. Only good for that one character.
Man.
Since we are talking about the monthly too, I do want to. The talent up again this month was fantastic rewards. Like so many tokens. I'm really hopeful they keep this model of talent up. Like that was really needed for tokens, I think. So very happy about what they're doing with this style of talent up. And it doesn't seem like, I think, what was it, like three talents up ago or 4? There was one of them that I think 4-star golds were only worth about 58,000 points or
yeah.
yeah, and Yeah, so this style, like where they're at for talent up, I think is pretty great.
So speaking of talent up, I didn't actually get to ask or go in depth or anything. It sounds like a lot of people actually finished the talent up and maxed it. Who did you guys take up for talent up this month compared to any of the other months?
I
This
have
month
that
I
right.
took up Ciampa, Drew, and Eddie, and then just did a few.
Which Eddie? Because there's 3 Eddies.
Trickster Eddie.
Gotcha.
He's the friggin' Terminator. I mean, that's all I can say.
Yeah.
You think you got him killed, and he just.
Yeah, he's an absolute animal. I'll be working on him this month to work on the talent up next month with him. I took up Drew this month. I took up shit. I can't remember who else I took up. It was not that memorable, I'll be honest with you guys. I took up Drew to 4 gold, and that's about it.
For me, I finally burned off a bunch of fuses I was sitting on. I hate using them in talent ups, but because I keep thinking they'll return to the value they once were. But what keeps happening is I end up with higher fuses of things that have been sitting in my roster, so there's just a fuse wasted, you know. So I burned off a lot of my fuses just getting like I had a 4 gold for Showboat Flare, 4 silver for Showboat Macho, a 4 silver fuse for Shiki Baby, 4 bronze fuse for the good Velveteen Dream.
Is there a good Velveteen?
Well, okay, the better.
There's not a good Velveteen. There's a shitty and a better Velveteen.
The poor man's cast. How about that?
Oh gosh.
But it's, as far as exciting moves, I finally took up Spock to 4 gold finally, and Ollie Black to 4 gold because those were must dos. I've been sitting on those a while and working on them and got them there.
Nice.
I will say that the town up was nice to me. In addition to getting extra turd strat for, I also got another tech epic belt, so now I can finally have one on Kofi.
Oh, Kofi and Ciampa is gonna be brutal. Yeah. I'll be
Gem
working my Ciampa up this month again, prepping him for next month. Also, I have a gem damage buff belt for him ready to go. So I was just looking. I actually I took Drew up. I took 4 gold. I took Tough up to 4 gold, and I can't believe I forgot this move because even though I took 2 4 golds, the 4 bronze to 4 silver that I did this month is the biggest move. I took up 4 bronze Dango to 4 silver. That was the biggest move that I actually did.
That makes me happy. Everyone knows I'm a Dango Mark.
Yeah, and if Ben B1 is listening out there, if he's not Gooby, please let him know that I decided to fuse up my Showboat Austin to 3 full stars with only 1 hollow at 4 gold. So whenever we feud against each other, he can prepare himself for that one.
Let me put in a quick plug here. While we were sitting here doing the podcast, I was knocking out those tours with Dango. And essentially, 8,000 talent Dango and 8,000 talent Breeze. One turn the side node with a 4 silver Andrade, just pinned in first turn. So take your Fandango up, ladies and gentlemen, because he's insane.
He's amazing.
I'm going to make a controversial statement. I'm just not a fan of Dan.
Oh, my insides hurt.
I'm about to table flip. I cannot.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Punisher to the podcast, replacing Coyote.
Story of our game lives.
Stop it. Coyote's my idol, man. He's the reason I'm even where I'm at.
Nah.
Man, for me, I've been, since when that came out in my faction, I was telling everybody, Dango's going to be top tier. You need to get him. He's amazing. I've been on it from day one, but I don't think there's a character I use more than Dango, and I think he is the most useful character for sure in Showdown. 5 charge, loads anyone, even if you don't use him to finish people, so taking away double gem defense and all of that stuff, just insanely useful card. He can load anybody. So
usually I play devil's advocate, and I can't. There's nothing bad to say about him. He is that good.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, also if you look at my Showboat situation, in the 2 months I've come in and having to work up God, Fiend,
To be honest, man, I have ZCane and I've had him at 4 gold, and I was still using my 4-star bronze Fandango in Showdown. I was saying this last time. I was using. I didn't even get to talk about it. What we did when we talked about Showdown, because we had our podcast right before it last Showdown. I ended up starting out with Tech Black. Everyone knows I use Tech Black at 4-star gold with 83% gem reduction, and I swapped over from that about 2 hours into Showdown to my 4-star bronze Fandango, who was 47 levels away from being maxed out level for 4-star bronze, and my super under-leveled Tyler Breeze, who's like 3,000 talent, and I was doing Showdown exponentially quicker with the two of them instead of my 4-star gold max 14,000 for 13 talent Tech Black. It wasn't even comparable.
Fashion Police is probably the most underrated link for Showdown in the game. I feel like, everyone talks about Hogan and T and how good it is, and they're good. Don't get me wrong, they're very good. But Fashion Police, so fast, like they need 5 MP down to make you not turn 1.
Right. I had 3 people in my faction the past Showdown that messaged me in the server saying, "What did you do?" Because I had attacked them and won with a 4-star bronze Fandango and 4-star bronze Tyler Breeze. They're like, did you use props or something, or are these guys just that good? And I'm like, no, they're just that good. That's all.
Maybe we should stop talking about it, because maybe if the more we talk about it, people will start realizing how good they are.
Yeah.
And that's all we're going to see. Even with my Hogan and Mr. T, I don't like attacking those two.
No, you don't want to fight it, man.
Because you literally have to kill him. You have to kill him all the way dead.
You have to dango a dango. And if a dango... So now here's the thing. If you find a dango with -5, you're not fighting it. That's it.
Don't fight it anyway, because you're just gonna tag your opponent is gonna out kick you every single time, and it's like a friggin' 10-minute match, and you want to throw things.
And there's a lot of people that don't have Breeze. If you don't have Breeze, try Typhoon, because most people will have Typhoon up because he was free. He was awesome when I tried him as a tag partner.
Oh yeah, Fandango into Typhoon is massive.
Hall of Fame Hall just kind of knocks him out to turn 2.
Yeah, well, Hall of Fame Hall is just a little too fancy for most of us, okay, Coyote?
Yeah, I don't want to talk about that.
Coyote is the broken that actually plays, so not only does he do pulls, but he plays and gets guys too.
Oh, no. Ask Punisher about when we were in Venom way back in the day. My futility with pull was clear.
He's lying.
No, my first 3-star was actually Showboat DDP, of all things.
Wow. That's a funky one. While we're talking about it, we may as well, right? If anyone actually remembers, my first 3-star was 3-star bronze Justin Bradshaw Hawk. Yep, that was the first mega that I pulled, and I did it on a 1 pull. Did a 1 pull like way back when 3-star silver. No, 3-star gold was the featured. 3-star gold was the feature, and there was bronze and silvers in the undercard, and I ended up pulling him not once, because I did the 1 pull, and I'm like, all right, screw it, I'll do a 4 pull, see what else I pull, but twice. And I ended at that point that my other highest card was like 2-star silver Bray Wyatt, like 1,700 talent. I had just started playing the game, and I'm like, well, I have a 3-star bronze card now and 200 TP, but it was like, it wasn't TP, it was character TP, whatever the hell it was instead of shards. And I was like, I guess I'm leveling up this card. And I looked at him like, he's so shit, but I guess I'm leveling him up. And that's how it started for like my first month. I was like, oh, do I use my 2-star gold Andre the Giant Showboat without Sting or Dolph Ziggler, or do I use Justin Bradshaw? Well, I want to win, so I'm using Andre.
Oh no!
Shuffle them columns, baby.
So bad, so bad.
I remember pulling for JBL, thinking, "Man, I've got a feeling about this card. His moves are so low," and I got him. And I did have a feeling, but it wasn't that he was good. It was that he was going to be a shitbag and get removed from the game. So I guess it worked out. I guess it worked out okay.
Oh god, so true though. So true. So many people are upset they don't have that card now.
I don't want to talk about it because I don't have them and I can't ever get them. So thanks, guys.
So
next
Cable,
year's
who was your first 3-star? Cable.
I think I think it was probably Bray. I started way later than most of you guys. I think I started 2 or 3 months before the first Hardy event, and that set me up to do very well because I got lucky and got Matt, and then Jeff was so good as a free-to-play character, so I never took up like NXT Seth or any of that. I just went like Jeff and Matt, and they carried me forever. But I think Bray might have been my actual first 3-star that I made. I didn't pull, I don't think, a mega 3-star for a very long time. But I could be wrong. I had very good luck on my pulls, though. I got almost all the MP trainers right away, and that was right before Razar went away. ADR went away, and Enzo. And I pulled all those two and Cass towards the beginning of my time playing, which is right before they went away. But, no JBL, no Dudley Boys, no Ryback, no Barrett.
Well, all right. Calm down. You're not really missing much. Just relax, okay? You started out strong, and then just kind of,
Yeah,
You'll
but
never get to
Pokemon.
experience the.
But Pokemon, I gotta catch them all.
You'll never get to experience the sheer horror of pulling
The way you can think
out of
about
30
it.
pool, pulling 25 1-star Ryback.
Yeah, the way you can think about it is like we're too many generations past, and those are just old generations of Pokemon that you can't get anymore. That's all it is.
They're like Series 1 cards that wouldn't
Yeah.
cut it in a modern tournament.
Yeah, you can't get Charmander anymore. You know what I'm saying? Just that's what it is.
Just win a partridge.
Just
yeah.
let a partridge and pick Neville.
I have Neville. I have him, so I would not use a partridge on him, sir.
Yeah, just use it to get a 4-star bronze Ryback.
Yeah, just go for the Ryback. Yeah, we never know. He's gonna be the best 5-star card. It's gonna be amazing.
Oh man, we've got a 4-star Bradshaw in the podcast chat right now.
Do we really?
Flexing.
No.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
It's flexing. Look at
Oh my goodness, that's ridiculous.
it. Hanson 141.
What
Look at
is
that.
his
You're the man.
what is his 4-star move? Does he even
It's a-
have a 4-star move?
I think it's
I think
another
it's-
board shuffle. So
Are you
think
he,
serious?
yeah, you can just, if you get lucky, you can just shuffle.
Wait, he. Okay.
I think it's the shower rim job, actually.
Hold
is
on.
his
Are you
4-star move.
you're being dead ass, Hanson? Real talk. He has a column shuffle, a row shuffle, and then a board shuffle. Are you dead ass serious right now?
I think he might. I call him. We talked about this like way back in the day, and we all were picking one guy to be dumb with. Right. This is right when we had a bunch of extra tokens before 4-star gold hit, and I was like, I'm doing Mankind, and everyone's like, you're dumb, because it's dumb. But I'm a mark, and I forget. I think Gig was like, I'm going to do Macho Man Madness, who's not terrible, and then Hanson's like, I want to do someone really crazy.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, he's looking at Bradshaw, and I'm like, dude, he can shuffle into a shuffle into a shuffle into another shuffle.
It actually is a shuffle of the gem board. Holy shit. You weren't kidding. You actually shuffle 3 times.
Yeah, I mean, what are the odds you're not going to hit something?
Very likely. It's Scopely. This is
That
the
would drive me
one.
nuts.
This is the one game you don't want RNG to be something that you roll. Like that is the last thing you want to interact with in this game.
I actually love board shuffles because I love like Z Sasha. I love her board shuffle. Eddie's board shuffle always hits. Like I want that card. I would take him up just to board shuffle for fun. It would be my gambler card.
Look, so I was talking about it in the chat. That card, when I had him at 3-star silver, that is the highest gem cascade I've ever done with any card ever. At 3-star silver was 178 gems. I don't know why, I don't know how, but I shuffled the rows, nothing hit. I shuffled the columns, and then everything blew up, just consistently. and I literally thought my game was gonna glitch out because everything just kept on falling, and it was like, okay, a new board had just spawned, 3 row breaks and a wild card. Okay, new board had fallen, 2 column breaks and a row break and another wild card. Okay, like I just didn't know what was going on. I thought my game had broken. Even with Zombie Taker, I still haven't hit 178 gems, and I have Zombie Taker up there. It's just it's not possible. I have no idea what happened. It's ridiculous. But yeah, all right, man. Hey, more power to you. If you can get the 178 gem cascade, Hanson, by all means, feel free to take him up to 4 gold and make him a god. I don't know what to tell you.
Just all like red X-Pac and HBK on there, so all of your matches are recharging.
Yeah, just every match recharge. Oh, that's awful.
How pissed would you be facing that?
I would be. Oh my god, you'd be sitting there forever because he'd shuffle one thing and then it'd be a 3 match, and then he'd shuffle another set of things and it'd be a 3 match, and then he'd shuffle the board and it'd be another 3 match, and you're like, what? When is this gonna end?
You can't even plan your turn.
It's just never
I've
gonna
never
end.
even looked. Does he have a link with Farouk in the game? I've never even looked at it.
No, he does not. Does not, because the Justin Bradshaw was a character that was not tag team with Farouk. Was their reasoning for that one?
Yeah, but they're hit and miss on that stuff.
Yeah, no, you're 1,000%. Back to the monthly, because we're having fun shitting around. Something I thought that was interesting to talk about in regards to this month, they're releasing, so I'm not sure if it's confirmed or not, but the suspected cards, we have Cena, we have Taker. Those are the 2 that are released at the beginning of the month. There's Warrior. We're expected to have Macho. We're expected to have Taker. And we're expected to have New Day. I believe it's all 3 heads of the New Day for Manny Faces from He-Man, is what somebody else was saying. So they're releasing now the 5th version of a Cena card. They're releasing now the 5th version of a Triple H card. And by proxy, they should be rounding out the 6th Taker card. Provided they don't repeat classes and have 2 Trickster Takers, it's safe to assume that Taker's going to be a tech. What do you guys think about them having 5 Cena cards, 5 Triple H cards, and now they're rounding out the belt with the 6th Taker card, and it's not a normal iteration of Taker. It's kind of like a zombie Taker. It's a specific toy line Taker card. What do you guys think about that?
I mean, over the last, 40 years, it would have been outside of Hulk Hogan, who's been some. They all have the most class. I guess that makes sense. I mean, I character diversity, but I get why.
So, I think Taker's probably going to be the one most likely to be very pay heavy because he's got so many fans. So that's if we're going to have one that's straight pay, I would assume it would be Taker. Possibly Macho though too, which I hope it's not, but possibly Macho. You think I would assume we're probably going to get like 1 from each class. So Warrior, Showboat, we got a Striker. We got an Acro. If Taker's tech, that leaves Powerhouse probably for Macho, and Trickster would make sense for 3 faces of New Day.
Right.
So, yeah, Macho's definitely a powerhouse. It's almost confirmed at this point.
Nice. He's going to be probably. I think that card could potentially be insanely strong with Powerhouse gem damage and what they've done with Machos in the past. So maybe I'm gonna speculate on what I'd like to see real quick for 1 second because I like pin bar not moving, and we have a Powerhouse with a pin bar that doesn't move in Davey Boy, and
Hogan.
And Hogan, and then we have a Macho that has a pin bar that doesn't move in an Acro. So that would be pretty ridiculous, and I would super want that card. So I'm hoping it's a combo. At the very least, I have a shot to get it without being straight mega.
I think it's going to be
kind of like Eddie
released this week.
Yeah, like Eddie, or like maybe a more restrictive showdown, where you get close but not quite, something like that. Well, Eddie was that way too, I guess. So yeah.
I'm thinking it's going to end up being the loot contest, your pay to win contest type of thing, your spend events for Macho and Taker. That's what I'm unfortunately thinking it's going to be. because that's just typical for them, is that they have two that are pay, and then hopefully they have two that aren't, and one like warrior you can usually grind out for most people inside the community.
Well, if the Trickster version of New Day's good and it's attainable, I would be happy with that too, because Trickster's a very weak class for me still.
I'm thinking that's going to be the more grindable one. And yeah, the other two, Taker and Macho, will probably be like Sid and who was the other big spend one last month?
Eddie.
I'm missing someone. No, he wasn't a big spend one.
No, that's fair. It was this part showdown.
Yeah, it was one that was, maybe it was just
Gargano?
Sid. No, was he? I think he was a month before.
Yeah.
Maybe there was only one big spend one with Sid last month.
Oh, Hall of Fame, but no one got her.
Oh yeah, that's who it was. Yep, that's who it was.
Yeah, that's how bad it was that we literally all of us had forgotten. That's just bad. Ugh.
Flow from Progressive.
Yep.
What if? And I think I mentioned this yet. Is what if this month, since there's no gear on the prize wall, what if they have a feud event where you get a key? Because if you look at that key wall now, Warrior is added to it.
There's no.
So I do wonder.
There's no way they're giving a key out, man.
I think they will.
Seriously? I don't see it happening.
I just think the wall, and Coyote and I talked about this already, I think that wall will stay one key for the first three guys and then two keys for the next three guys.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Oh, so that you can get Cena, Taker, or Warrior for one key, or any of the other three premium cards for two?
Yep.
That would be ugly. I could see that happening, but that would be ugly.
I mean, it wouldn't, like, if I can grind and get a key, and it's going to give me a 4-star where I'm going to get either a ton of TP or a fuse up. Like, so I plan on taking Acro Triple H all the way up. He'll be my best Acro for sure. I would use a key for an extra 1,200, or if it's a 4-star bronze, 1,200 shards, and that wouldn't bother me. I'd grind for that in a heartbeat.
That's fair. It's 1,200 TP for a card that you're planning on taking up. What do you guys think about Acro trips? I know that we've kind of been dancing around it because we've been talking about so much. What do you think about the chase card this month?
Honestly, I haven't even looked at a video of him yet.
He's in the same
because I won't get him till the last week of the month, so it's like, what's there to get excited about?
No, that's fair. Yeah.
He's in the same vein as like a Ricochet, or this seems to be the template for a lot of acrobats now with Jimmy and Ray and Acro Ricochet. It's the make multiply gems, so he'll have a place, especially if you don't have any of those guys, because with Booker making people shift away from the multiply coaches, I think you can slip in there and do some damage with those multiply gem guys. And so having one, if you don't have the other ones, you should definitely go for them because they're all really good. They recycle, they hit hard. So
I got a little bit different take. At least all the videos I've seen, I haven't seen anyone play him the way I want to play him. And so if I posted it in the chat for the podcast, you can see the moveset I want to use. Basically, it does take some rare trainers, but Woods and Farouk, and then Drew coaching, and Z Charlotte might not make sense to a bunch of people, but if you ever at 9K, you get a 25% more chance purple boards on the starting gem board.
You can't put her on them though if she's for powerhouses only.
No, you can. The purple works on anyone. The Berserk only works on powerhouse.
That's fair. I didn't know that still worked.
Yeah, I believe it says it in the description. I can pull it up on my game right now. But
yeah, you're right.
Okay, so that you only need 6 purples on the starting board with a 25% increase. That's going to happen almost every time. You blow the whole board up. You recycle all of your moves, and the second time through, you're dropping 2 columns with multiplies and then blowing the whole board up. And no one's going to live through that second time through. And with perks, that's turn 1. So I don't see. And that's not really going to care about MP nerf coach because the columns, they're just, you're not using Matt Hardy in this build anyway. So that's the way I'd run him. That's what I'm looking forward to doing. And I think he's going to be by far my best guy. Like he's a way, way better X-Pac.
I'm interested in the card. It's one of those cards where it's like, if I hit it, I'll be happy. If I don't, I'm not going to be like crying over it or upset that I missed him. Yeah, it'll be nice to get him and use him for again, we're all assuming that there's going to be future MoTU events just like there is zombies. And if that's the case, then yeah, he's for sure going to be required and needed, whether it's for a tag team, whether it's for a requirement for showdown and future events, or whatever it may be. He'll be a requirement that most people are going to need. Like you guys are saying, if you already have an acro that's multi-gems, he doesn't really fill a slot on your roster. But flip side is, I like the card. I think that it's very similar to Big Kev's gameplay, and I've always loved Big Kev. Kind of similar to how you were just talking about, Cable, how you want to run them with using Drew and using Farouk for more column break gems. You're blowing the whole board up because you're generating 7 column break gems, and that's just something that's very strong. Yes, it's acro damage and not striker damage, so it's not as strong, but the second go around you do get columns to pick into multi-gems, which is, again, it helps. And if you're going up against multi-gem coaches, that's not going to hinder you from recycling your moveset because you're still using the moves. You're still just going to keep on recycling. So I think it's a good card. I think it's very viable for some people to go and chase after. But on the flip side, I think if people don't get him, it's not the end of the world. He does require some very extremely rare coaches and trainers. And if I were to go and use him in a feud lineup, I wouldn't be doing it if I'm running Big Kev, because he would be taking up my Drew, he would be taking up my Farouk, and I wouldn't want to take either of those off of Big Kev ever. So that's the only issue I have with that card in specific, is I don't want to share trainers in a feud setup.
Yeah, I'm kind of agree. By the way, is my sound better?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. I view him as kind of one of those guys that he's a nice to have, but not a must. He's somebody that you definitely would want on your roster if you can get him. But he's not somebody that you're going to be, worse off for not having, if that makes sense.
Right.
So, that's my thought. I do agree with the assessment that he's a souped up X-Pac that chews blue into intrigues me a bit.
Yeah. He's got a very interesting moveset, to say the least. So that's pretty much it about the month. I think we've pretty much touched on just about anything and everything. So I wanted to take this to the final couple of topics that we're going to be talking about. So community that's here, that's listening, please get your questions ready and everything. We'll be asking you guys what you'd like to interact with us and whatnot. Showdown's starting in about 40 minutes, and I want to make sure everybody has some decent time. But before we get to that, any follow-ups on the 5-star beta on the $75 playtest? Has anyone been chosen or know anyone that's been chosen? Anything along those lines? I've signed up for the beta, and I also signed up for the $75 playtest that came in via the email for Scopely's gaming opportunities, whatever they call them. So I haven't heard back in regards to either. I know that there's a lot of people that have filled it out, but I have not heard of anyone that's heard anything back as of yet.
I signed up for... Go ahead,
no one. Yeah, I'm just gonna say no one should have received any beta emails yet. I don't think they're gonna go out for either next week or the week after. As far as the other one, the $75 thing, so apparently that's not a Scopely thing. I mean, it is. It's like a Scopely. They hired out a third party to conduct whatever this is, and it's extremely secretive. They won't tell us anything, or I should say, Furpo won't tell me anything, or us as mods. So I don't know exactly what it's for. There was a rumor that it was for expanding the game board to like 8x8, just because they changed the wording on a lot of moves to middle row, and now they changed it to third from the left or something like that.
Yeah, and the same thing with Godfather from whole board into 7x7.
Yeah, yep. So they changed a lot of that wording. So that's kind of what people thought it was, but they denied that. So whatever that $75 thing is, it's just basically a third-party company is going to watch certain people play for an hour or something like that and go from there. I think it might be to improve the AI, maybe. Maybe they're going to see how people play Ricochet and use his moves the right way, or Ray, or other people they use wrong. But that's just a guess. I'm not sure what that's for.
Okay, that'd be very interesting though if they were to do that. And yeah, if that were something they were to do, yeah, I'm sure there's a good chunk of players in the community that would definitely want to be a part of that. So that explains why they're being so secretive about it. Personally, yeah, I'd
Yeah,
love to be a part of it because I love playing cards differently. I was playing Big Kev different than any of the content creator previews, and just like Cable was talking about, he wants to set up acro trips in a different moveset too. It just, yeah, there's a lot of ways of playing cards. It seems interesting.
Yeah, I
the
definitely.
$75 one is only. I think he said that only like 6 people are going to be picked, which
Damn.
is kind of weird.
Wow.
So who knows what that's going to be for?
Very
Hopefully,
exclusive.
one of the 6 people, one of us knows who it is, so we can ask him what the hell happened.
Yeah, and what it's actually going to. It'd be nice, right?
Yeah.
Like I don't really think that they're gonna end up losing too much if they end up paying out $450. You know, it's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm so cynical that I'm thinking that people are being hired to make Scopely $75.
You have to pay 75 to get in.
Welcome. Tell all your friends.
Oh God, Kenny, you're ridiculous.
But
man.
as for 5 stars, I mean, the game economy hasn't expanded really much beyond the 3-star level. So 5 stars, I think, is just going to compound that unless they've got other plans to kind of fix the game economy in some ways. I mean, they've made some changes around the edges, around the margins, but they've really got to figure out. They've really got to fix the game economy in a lot of ways, or I think 5 stars is going to be 4-star. You know how bad the economy is in some regards. 4 stars once, and you're going to lose a lot of people.
There's good potential. It's definitely something they have to work on.
They've
So
done-
with that one, sorry to interrupt you again, Merrick. I saw your name light up. But with the beta, again, that's another thing we asked, is that going to be 5-star? And we were told no, that's not 5-star, even though the link said 5-star beta. Yeah, and we showed him that, and he says, no, that's not what it is. So I don't know. I mean,
Nothing to see.
to
here.
be
Move
fair,
along.
when 4-star came out and Eric was the CM, we asked him the same thing, is this for 4-star? He's like, nope, and denied it. So it could very well be 5-star, but Furpo actually makes a good case as to why it's not. He actually has better reasons, but maybe he had just had time to think about it. Or maybe he just doesn't know, and that could be too.
Yeah, I think like some parts of the game have gotten better. Like, so we have access to way more coin now than we did before this current showdown model, and there's a lot more coin in the prize wall too, and a lot of the events pay out more coin. So coin is a lot better. Maybe not perfect yet, but a lot better.
Still not enough.
Right. It's never enough. I mean, all of us could probably drop 300 million in like 5 minutes, you know?
I mean, if you look at the Earthquake card that people just got at 4-star gold, if you have enough coin, you'll realize it takes over 30 million coin to max that one card out.
Yeah,
One
that's a
card.
month's worth.
One card, 30 million coin.
And we get 1.9 million just doing Dean's Daily and nothing else. And 2 showdown events is, 6-7 million for showdown events?
Yeah, it's like 5 something per showdown, so you're going to get more than 10. And prize wall, I think usually last month and this month there's 17 million on the prize wall.
I agree with you though. Overall concept, Cable, 1,000% you're right. There is absolutely more coin available, but the point I was going to touch up on is that even though there's more, with the amount that is being required now that 4-star, like everyone's talking about, and then
Right.
4-star gold economy came out, just
Right.
to touch on the coin side, it's just never enough. Because
Right, and TP's way off. Even redoing
Yeah, they
Oh,
definitely
man.
have to.
even redoing the dailies isn't enough for the where TP's at.
Yeah, I agree completely. They really need to overhaul all of that.
they are
And I was
getting-
talking to Jeff, I think last week or early this week. And my God, that guy has some absolutely awesome ideas for this game. I don't know if he's able to push them, but just the stuff he's got, his ideas like for October, for Halloween, it's just really cool. I don't think that it's gonna happen, but I don't know if he wants me to tell. But the stuff he has for ideas are really cool. But in the same token, he says all these things to me. I'm like, but are you going to fix the game economy? Because you can come out with all this cool new stuff, but not if it costs $100 for 200 TP or 100 TP. No one cares about that stuff. And if that's what you need to have fun in this game, no one's going to play it anymore.
When I was
The
looking
thing
at
is,
go on, Cable. Sorry.
like, oh, if they offered, like, I mean, there's so many guys we want to level up, right, guys? I mean, we're never not going to have guys we want to level up. There's always going to be that next guy we want to push. So if they were selling TP and coin at an affordable level, it wouldn't break the game. It wouldn't break anything. It would most likely get people to spend more. We wouldn't stop leveling guys up. So
microtransactions, right?
Yeah, I mean, like,
I've been screaming that to them.
Who's like, even for like dolphins, like taking whales out of it. Let's say you budget like me and you budget $150 a month for the game across the board. I mean, even if I break my budget and there's a couple 99-cent deals that start popping up, I'll be like, oh, it's $1. I don't care about that. Oh, it's $1. I don't care about that. Pretty soon I've spent like $30 that I didn't care about.
Yep.
And now I'm like, oh, there it is, you know? And it's not going to hurt them from making money if they do it on stuff like TP and coin, because no one's spending on that anyway. You know what I mean? So they could make a ton more money. We could level up more guys, have more fun. Everybody wins. And then maybe they make enough money that they lower the price on some of their, or increase the odds on some of their pulls, because they figure out, ooh, if these guys have more guys to level up, they're going to spend way more money in microtransactions.
Hold on a second, Cable. You're telling me that no one is spending $100 for the giant TP sale of the week?
I mean, there might be someone dumb enough out there. No offense if you're that person.
Inconceivable.
Not dumb.
I apologize.
They just need 150 TP of each color out there so they can not level up their card from 4-star bronze to 4-star silver. That's not dumb. They're just spending $100 to be close.
I got nothing.
Okay.
I got nothing.
All right. Yeah, their game economy is awful, man. If you guys haven't seen that, that's their giant sale of the week, which is a one-time only offer, $100 for 150 TP of every single color. And if you are taking anybody past the 3-star gold level, as we have all been talking about, where the game economy is stuck at, you will not be able to do a thing with that.
How much? Just random question for you guys. For you to spend $100 just on TP, how much TP would actually have to be in there?
70,000. Oh wait, that one hit too hard to home. I'm sorry. That one hurt.
It's too soon.
No, like legit, for $100, how much TP would you have to have?
I don't know, like
be around
500 each.
Honestly, yeah.
Around 3,000.
Yeah, I'd say 500 to like 750 of each color TP. So about 3,000 to 4,500.
Yeah, look at the offer that they just put out for who's the new guy? Warrior. It's $100 for 55 pulls, which is already a deal. Not a deal, but it's already an offer in the store, which is terrible. But then you get 400 TP and 3 million coins. That's a decent deal. You know, I bought 2 of them because it's a decent deal. Now, if it was just 55 pulls, which, like I said, they do have that offer, there's not a fucking chance I'll buy that because it's terrible.
Right. That's definitely a better style of deal. And I think there's some of the so take the 1999 one. You get 10 warrior coins, 80 health packs, some versus buckles, and then you get 5 lie cheat steel props, which are going to be useful to beat a tour. So I haven't bought that one, but if you're going to buy it, at least you get some useful stuff too.
Yeah, there's no such thing as buying just pulls anymore because the odds are way too low to spend $100 on the chances of getting nothing, and the chances of getting nothing are very, very high.
Well, even when you beat the odds, like we're talking about the
Coyote, I think people are bouncing off of you.
So we were talking about the impulse buys and the little 99-cent and $4.99 warrior coins. Yeah, I went for some of those. Hey, why not? And you do the pulls, and I actually beat the odds at the 1% and got a 4 silver rude, which I absolutely did not need. So even when you beat their terrible odds, you can still be a loser. You know, it's just like, well, great, thanks.
Because they put so much crap in the featured. I mean, not crap, but you know, cards that you don't want.
And they're weighted.
Just,
we all know that the featured is weighted.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. Well, all right. I think that's pretty much every topic that we wanted to touch on. So if you guys are still listening in the community and still here listening and want to ask any questions to anybody in specific, or have any topics that you want us to go more in depth in on, or if you want to just ask all of us something, feel free and we can absolutely talk about it. I want to thank everybody for coming on out back to Cable Guy's server. Thank everybody for joining in. Pun, thank you for joining in late. I know that you had some family business going on, and I do appreciate you hopping in for the final half with us. Really do appreciate
My
it.
pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man, I would love to have you on to some future ones as well. Yeah, if anyone's got any questions or any comments to give us, definitely feel free. Thank you guys for coming on out, and Cable, thank you once again for hosting us. In case anyone is not aware, the next podcast will be hosted over on Davey D's server. We're going to be doing a type of back and forth movement between Cable server and Davey's server to try and get more of the community involved. So if you're not on Davey's server, definitely go ahead, get an invite, hop on over there, help out. There, it's a great community over there as well, and hopefully we'll see the majority of you guys back on Davey's server, and then after Davey's we will come on back to Cable's server here. So hopefully we'll see you guys at both of them. And yeah, thank you guys for listening once again. If you guys have any questions or anything to say, feel free to type it out. Let me know.